All right, good morning. It's Wednesday, April 15th, and today we have another fill in the blank number talk. This one, there's going to be a couple opportunities for you to fill in the blank, and then one at the end that you're going to have to do on your own. Um, so, with these, they kind of make you think a little bit differently about the problem because obviously you're missing a piece that's not the answer. For example, the first one, they have 1/8 plus blank equals 1. So the way you have to think about solving this is what does it take here? Okay, what does it take there to get me to one whole? Well, we're dealing with eighths. So the easiest way to do this would be to think, okay, if I have a circle and I would divide that into eighths. See if I can do this here. I think that's eighths. There we go. Okay, if I have one of them, okay, so 1/8 is represented colored in over here. Okay, how many are left? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I put 7/8 in this blank, that will make the statement true. Now, certainly there are other answers. Any fraction that's equivalent to 7/8, such as 14/16 or 21/24, okay, or any other fraction that you can come up with that's equivalent to this 7/8 would also fit into that blank. But for our purposes, 7/8 is going to be the most straightforward answer. Now, if we look at this one, okay, now we're ramping it up a little bit. We have two blanks. So we have 2/6 plus something equals 1. Now, you have some options here, okay? You could try and put the same thing in both blanks. You could figure out what the difference between 1 and 2/6 is and split that in half. Or you could come up with two values that are not the same, but both add up to the difference between 2/6 and 1. So if you think about splitting something into 6, I'm going to draw another picture here. Okay, so bear with me. My drawings are not great, and I realize that. But if we have a circle, that is a perfect circle. If we split that into 6, let me think about this here, 6, like that, okay, and two of them are shaded in because that's what our problem gives us. So we're going to shade in these two there. It's taking a while. Okay, so two of them are shaded in. If you think about what we have left, the blank stuff equals 4/6, or the not colored in part. Okay, so we could do a couple of things to fill in these two blanks to make it equal to 1. We could just put 4/6 in this blank and a 0 here. That would satisfy our problem. We could split 4/6 into 2/6 and 2/6, and that would also satisfy our problem. Or you could do something totally different. You could put 1/3 plus 2/6, which if you think about it really isn't that different because all I did was I simplified 2/6 to 1/3 by dividing top and bottom by 2, like this. 2/6 divided by 2 divided by 2 gives me 1/3. So those are the same. Or you could go and find different values that are equivalent to 1/3, 1/3. Any two values that add up to 4/6 will satisfy those two blanks there. But I'm going to leave 1/3 and 2/6 in there for now to show that 2/6 plus 1/3 plus 2/6 is equal to 1. And we can check that by saying, okay, here's 2/6 colored in. If we color in 2 more sixths for this one, and then we go and look, okay, we have a third left. If you can see, like this, I'll do it a different color. This right here, okay, it's 2/6, but it is also 1/3, and we could color that last one in, and that would have our whole hole colored in. Do that in green, like that, okay? So whatever you want to put there would work. These are a couple examples that would fit into that blank. Okay, now the next one. Whoops, too far. Okay, the next one, we have 2/8 plus 3/8 plus something else equals 1. And it doesn't matter that the order is switched, okay, because when you have a problem like this, you're still, so wherever your equals sign is, you're looking to make one side of the equals sign balanced with the other. So right now, 2 eighths plus 3 eighths gives me a value of 5 eighths on this side. Okay, and I've got a value of 1 over here, obviously, because it's the only thing. So right now, my sides are not balanced. So I need to think, what could I put into this blank that would allow me to balance my scale or balance the sides of my equation? So think about that for a second when you have it. Unpause the video and continue on. Okay, most of you, I'm guessing, came up with 3 eighths for this blank, because when you add 3 eighths to the 5 eighths you already have, that equals 8 eighths, and that is equivalent to a whole. You could certainly find other things that would go into that blank, but 3 eighths is going to be the most straightforward, and that's the route that I'm taking today. All right, here's another one. I think this is the last one. Yeah, last one before the one that you guys are going to try on your own. So now, instead of equaling 1, we have a 2, so that changes our thinking a little bit. And then we have a fraction. For the first time, we have an improper fraction plus something else equals 2. So my suggestion here is we need to figure out first what 3 halves, or 3 over 2, is equivalent to as a mixed number. Think about that, and when you're ready, unpause the video and move on. Okay, so hopefully 3 halves, okay, either you used long division, okay, and did 2 divided by 3, or excuse me, 3 divided by 2, or you just said, hey, I know that 2 halves make a whole, I have 3 halves, so I have 1 and a half for my value of 3 halves. Okay, once we get it here, it's a lot easier to think, okay, how much farther do I have to go to get to 2? We just need to add another half. So we could put a half into this blank here. You could also have said, all right, I know that 4 over 2 is equivalent to 2, and you could have just added 1 more over 2. When you add these, 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2 equals 4 over 2, which equals 2 wholes. All right, so a couple different ways you could have thought about that there. All right, now this last one, okay, this last one's a little trickier, but you're more than capable, okay? This is the one that you're going to solve and come up with an answer that will go into this blank right here. Okay, a quick tip for those of you that might be a little unsure of how to start, okay, figure out what this value is as a mixed number, and then figure out what the value of this side is as one number. So see if you can subtract 10 minus 4 halves to get one number over here so you know what the value is. And then comment your answer on this post, or comment that you posted it on Seesaw and I can see your work there. Have a great Wednesday.